This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Oh, wow, that was a little bit weird how the timing there. Oh, well. All right. Tonight's the Delphi Call-In show. Every Sunday. And if you'd like to cover other cases, we do those the other 6 days of the week. Alright. So, hold on one second. I'm going to try to make a call, see if it works. Thank you, Diana Beck. Is it Beck? Did I say that right? Hoping I did. Thank you, guys. Sarah Beth.
Hi, Grey High Freaks.
Oh, we're gonna get the right off the bat the Chewbacca. Here we go. It's coming. Well, let me try.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Let's get this party started.
Thank you, Sarah Beth Colagras. And Rita Schaefer. I wonder if I said that right. Yeah, you probably don't want to call in right away. I got to make another phone call. Let's see what this one is. Hold on. 216. Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, Greg. Hey, am I live?
Yeah, sure. What's going on? Who's this?
Hey, I was calling in. I follow the Delphi case a lot.
Yeah.
Watching your show. I'm wanting to see the lack of information that law enforcement is sharing with the public. I was going to see, do you believe that they have a pretty solid idea of who the suspect is, and that's the only reason why they're holding on to the information so tightly?
No, I don't think so. I just think there's so little out there that that's remaining that they just don't want to give away those last pieces of information.
Okay, and on the two sketches being so different, I've heard the theories that maybe the second sketch could have been a composite of what was used possibly to catfish. And then I've also heard that it was just thrown out there almost because they had their eye on somebody and they just wanted to kind of take the heat off of the suspect, which doesn't make any sense to me. But what do you think about that with the sketches being so different?
I don't know. I think I've explained on the show many times about the like why there's two sketches, and it's strange how it just keeps morphing and going into all these weird directions. The first one was based off of a description, and a lot of it to do with what the video looks like. Looks like a guy with a graying goatee, right. So it's like, well, God, he's got to be 40, 45, and they made him look like that. But then they had a sketch prior to that was this younger person, and since nothing was panning out on the sketch with the older looking guy, they switched. They did a whole reset and started with the younger one. They now replaced that, and then but then Carter says, well, it's somewhere in between. Then it's like, oh God, okay, well, why don't you make a hybrid sketch then? I mean, it just, that kind of stuff doesn't make sense to me, to say stuff like that.
Well, see, I've always thought that, I was always surprised that they even put out a sketch, being that even though it's out of focus, that we actually have the killer's image, which is extremely rare. And I've always thought that there's almost something in the human condition that if we ever do see the suspect, I believe it's almost nature that our brains will recognize the guy. We'll be like, that's him.
Yeah, maybe. I think a person that knows him would do that. We've already seen that. We've already seen that thousands and thousands of people think that they would recognize. Oh, look at that! It's him, and it's never him. Okay, maybe one of these days it'll be him, but there's so many people that think that they know who the killer is, and there's only probably one person that knows.
Right. Hey, but I've always thought that when you look at the guy, he's obviously a lot closer to 50 than 18. I think we can recognize that just through the physical structure of the shape we're seeing. We can almost see just by living our lives. It's obvious that is more of a 50-year-old man than an 18-year-old. You agree with that?
Yeah, well, to me, it looks like he's somebody between like 40 and 50. Yeah, that's what it looks like. But they must have put out that other sketch for a reason. And they also said it could just be a younger-looking person. I mean, there are 40-year-olds that look that age, right? So that's why they said 18 to whatever they said, 40, something like that.
Right. And, the thing that's so amazing about this is the thing that's amazing is that he got away with it. We got his image. We got his voice. It's almost like he messed up in every single way other than the ways that could get him caught. Mm-hmm. So he messed up in that he was captured, through audio and the photograph or the video, but not one, usable piece of DNA that we know of. So that's the thing. It's amazing how someone could be so close to getting caught. And I remember when this first happened, I kept thinking, within 3 weeks they're going to arrest the guy, or they know who he is already. And here we are 4 years later. So that's the thing. This is really a 1 in a million case that you could have the amount of evidence you have, but we don't have anything conclusive. So it's extremely rare. I think that's why it captures the public's imagination so much, and why there's such focus on this case, because it seems so solvable, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It seems like it should be easy, especially given what they've said. Oh, it's a local person. It's, so people around there should recognize him, but that's not panning out. The DNA wasn't very weak sample. I also had the theory that he was there that day, obviously with the tools, and he was in the mindset to commit this murder. Now, we always say that it was a crime of just happenstance, that those two just happened to come along at that time. Right. And I always thought that he was there specifically on that day because he knew someone was going to be there. So I've always had the theory that it was the two girls after the two young girls that came along. I believe it's Cheyenne and another girl came along, 20 minutes later or so? Yeah, who knows? The thing is, there's no evidence whatsoever to prove that at all. And, really it just looks like they're stranger on stranger, and he abducted the two girls. I think it would have been pretty obvious that if he was there looking for some 20-year-olds, that those two girls weren't them. Right?
That's true. But if you're going to commit a murder, there has to be something more than just boredom that's going to motivate you. There has to be something that drives you.
Yeah, like serial killers. Well, no, I know, but serial killers kill because they want to. It satisfies a need that they have. I think he's a serial killer type person. Okay.
But a lot of times, it's a sexual need. That's what a lot of these cases are based on. And, it could have been a sexual thing.
Right.
But I've always thought that the reason that there's no usable DNA is because maybe this guy was not a pedophile. Maybe he was expecting the two older girls to come along. That's why there was a lack of DNA. And, if you're there on a trail with a whole kit of weapons waiting for your targets to show up, and they don't, but two younger, easier targets come along, he might have been in the mindset that he's not going to go home without committing that crime, and he just took advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. I don't agree. I don't agree. But I gotta make this phone call. I was gonna do. I just took your call quick. I just don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a like he went out there and it's a mistaken identity. Or he wasn't. He got tired of waiting for these two people. I think he was just there. I think he was just there hunting, and when the two girls fit into the trap that he set, we don't know why he didn't finish, a sexual act or anything like that. We don't have any idea why. He could just be a really crazy person.
He could be.
A serial killer type. I just think it's where we want it to make a lot of sense. But here's the thing, is when a serial killer type person kills somebody, a lot of times it doesn't make sense to anybody else. It's just what they wanted to do.
That's true. Hey, but at that age, if he is close to 50, wouldn't it be almost impossible that he had never done this before, that this would not be his first crime at this age?
Maybe he did. Maybe he changed it up. Maybe he's, late bloomer. We don't know how old the guy is or anything at this point. But if he's like 35, if he's 30 to 45, then maybe he's done it before. But it's going to be something different. It wasn't on a bridge. Everyone thinks, it's a bridge. And if they see a bridge in a photograph of any single person, that person's now a suspect. So everybody out there, if you're a guy, don't take any photographs of bridges, okay? And don't post it on Facebook, because you'll get attacked. You'll get attacked by the mob.
Okay, last question. Do you believe there will be another press conference with some sort of usable information within the next 12 months?
Well, I'm hoping it's solved within 12 months, but it doesn't sound like they're really going to be coming out with anything. So I hope they do, but it doesn't seem like that's what they're going to be doing.
Okay,
maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll change their mind.
And sorry about your Blazers.
Oh, I know, it sucks. All right. Thanks, man.
Later.
Have a good one. See you. Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Wait, what number am I? I don't know if I got the right number. Is this Becky or?
You got the right number.
Oh, I got the right number. Okay, yeah. We're doing the show right now. So this is Tara, right? And then there's Becky.
No, not that time. It was Terry. There's three of us.
Oh, wow. 3 of you. Okay, cool.
There's 3 of us in the van, and, Kelsey got to fly.
Oh, she got to fly. Okay, cool. So how was the trip?
It was quite interesting. It's been adventurous.
Yeah.
It's it's what, about a 20-hour ride? It's a long ride.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
So the convention was very interesting. It was a little smaller. but it had some really interesting panels this year. I only got to see bits and pieces of a couple. We had our panel, and they had us do like a meet and greet and a virtual question and answer this time. We've never had to do any of that stuff, so they had us a lot busier this time.
Yeah. So what made you decide to sort of do a road trip? It's pretty funny.
Well, because we set up a booth and we have T-shirts and we have all this stuff, and I can't just, I think it costs way too much to ship it.
Oh, true.
So
Yeah.
the only way to get it there is to drive. So, well, here we are. And Mike he didn't come this year because him and Eric, which is Diane's her mom and stepdad, they've been just working nonstop down at the park because we have a goal of during the Abby Libby softball tournament for them to be able to play the championship games there, because this would be the last year that Libby would be playing. So all of her teammates and everybody that she played against, this is their last year, and they want them to be the first ones to play on the field.
Oh, that's great. How close is it to being finished?
Well, it may not be finished, but it's going to be. They're hoping for it to be playable for the championship game in July.
Oh,
We probably won't have the night lights up and all that for them to play at nighttime, but they'll be able to play daytime games. We're hoping. If weather and nothing happens, we had a contractor drilling underground to run the water lines and stuff, and his machine broke. So we were put back a whole week just waiting on a part for his machine.
Yeah. So what? It looks pretty cool. Some of the pictures and the update pictures that I've seen looks nice.
I'm going to tell you, it's coming out very, very nice.
Yeah. And what about the bricks? Do those come on at some point? The bricks?
He's supposed to be coming to set those. This is June. I think this month. We didn't want to do it until we knew the big heavy trucks were done running across there.
Oh,
because
right.
we didn't want trucks running over it. So we've waited until we thought that, okay, there should be no more big heavy trucks going across it, the area where we're going to put them. So that should be coming. That should be happening this month too.
Yeah. So okay. So at CrimeCon, you guys set up a kind of like, I think 2 years ago you set up one probably similar. It's like a booth, and there's T-shirts, and you raise funds and for.
We have flyers. Yeah. We
flyers.
pass out flyers. We tell the story. As a matter of fact, we did meet several people again this year that had not heard about the girl.
See, isn't that just weird almost at this point?
Well, that's why we go.
Yeah.
And one of my main focuses this time was to address the Chadwell thing.
Oh yeah. So what did you tell people about him?
Well, I told him that he's he's not important. He's not relevant right now. He's a monster. He's probably not our monster. And so many people took that and ran with it.
Yeah.
And we have gotten so many messages and stuff asking us, hey, congratulations, it's been solved, but it hasn't.
Yeah.
So my focus now is to tell people, listen, until you hear from the police, I don't care what the media says, what somebody looks like, what they're doing. Do not you assume that it's not him until the police tell you different.
No, that's exactly right. It's weird. It's crazy how people got so excited. I mean, he's an interesting guy, lives within 20 miles, seems to be about the right height and the age and everything. But it's just incredible. And it even got to the point where people called and said, congratulations, huh? Wow.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
And, Barbara McDonald, who's HLN has been wonderful to us.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not cover the Chadwell. They wanted to wait. And they called us and asked us what we thought, and we said not until law enforcement comes out and says something. So they didn't run it. So they're one of the few didn't. But she had friends message her and say, hey, congratulations, he's been caught. So it wasn't just us that was getting these messages.
Yeah. So what are some of the events that you guys went to that you thought were interesting if you had time?
I got to go for just a few minutes because we had to man the booth, and with everything else going on, I went for a little bit to the panel that was called the Toolbox Killers.
Oh.
And that was very interesting if somebody wants to look that up online. And it was a psychologist that had spent, I can't remember her name, several years at San Quentin. She was known as the San Quentin Queen or something, just interviewing these serial killers. So she has become a number one not in knowledge on serial killers right now. That she was going through the things that they told her and just things, sort of like making the makings of a killer in their childhood, and it was what little bit I got to hear was pretty interesting. Now the one I wanted to really go to was today, and that was the BTK killer's daughter. Her name's Carrie, and I stepped in there for just a few minutes, and it was during the question and answer, and it was good. Kelsey went to that one. You'll have to ask her about it, but they enjoyed that one too. That was pretty informative, and I heard overall people talking that this was a really good crime con. That all the panels that they'd gone to and stuff were very interesting and informative.
Yeah, in the BTK one, it kind of makes you realize that the killer, I guess, I don't know, was it Tara that went to it?
Tara and Kelsey both.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they both went, but I was talking to Tara earlier on the phone, and she said that he just seemed like a normal person to even his daughter. Like his daughter had no clue that he was a serial killer or even a bad person. Pretty weird.
Yeah, one of the things she said that caught me during the time I was in there was she said, we've got to stop this perception that serial killers are not capable of feelings and stuff. And she said that just isn't so. She said, my dad was perfectly capable of compartmentalizing. She said, I know he loved me. He loved my mom. But yet, on the other hand, that was one compartment, the love that he had for family, but then on the other hand, he was still able to be so evil.
Wow. That's pretty incredible. Yeah, you always think, they're just sociopaths and they don't really feel anything. But they're just, they have this desire to do something. But yeah, of course, that they have feelings. Not all of them, but I would say a lot have feelings for their family members. And they just, that's a whole nother world for them. Their family,
Yep.
And then they go out and they do their things. They're killing. I don't like to describe everything like that, but hey, I don't know if you heard the other day, we have, I've told you about her, Colleen Fitzpatrick, right? Remember the genetic genealogist? She's actually started, She started it. Well, just to let you know, in the last, I think it was 3 days ago, they solved a case from 50 years old. It was a 50-year-old case, and they had the smallest, tiniest bit of DNA, and it was all highly degraded. And they were just using the techniques that they have. Parabon actually turned it down. They took it and manipulated it around, and boom. They actually, after they uploaded the GEDmatch, 2.5 hours, boom, they've got a match. So, just to let you know, you might want to throw that out there and see if they might want to give somebody else another shot. Colleen Fitzpatrick from Identifinders. If I know that the DNA, it's maybe not the greatest DNA in the world in the Delphi case, but that's what she is great at, using that.
Okay. Send me a message later to remind me on that.
Okay.
And
I'll send you the link to the case too. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that'd be great for me to forward that on also to law enforcement. Say, hey, look at this. You know, I don't know what we have, but if there's any possibility, you need to look at this, and this is what, you know, what they did. Maybe you can do something.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she can help out. I mean, it's always worth a shot. That's the thing.
It most certainly is.
Let's see. So, how many hours are you into the trip going back home right now?
Well, we've been on the road for a little over 6 hours. By the time we got out of there today, it was 2:30. We're driving. It's saying that we're not going to get, because we're going to stay just outside of Memphis, and we're just about to Texarkana. So we've still got probably 6 hours to go.
Wow.
So it's going to be a late night. It says we're going to get there about 12:30.
12:30? That's not too bad, though. Do you have to drop it off?
And then probably a 8 hour drive tomorrow.
And then you have to drop it off at like you're going to stay overnight somewhere and then drive again tomorrow?
Yes, I'm not driving. Mike would kill me if I tried to drive all night.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. We should get you on a Zoom call while driving and 15 hours into it. See how well that works out.
Yeah, that would be terrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's surprising if you could hear me because this van is, well, I mean, there's no insulation, there's no nothing. It's really a noisy ride. So.
Yeah.
But you do what you got to do, right? I couldn't get it. Thing of it is, I was trying to get a 14-passenger van, trying to rent one, and I was just going to put the things in the seat. And I couldn't get my hands on one. I tried Hertz, Avis, Enterprise, National, all of them. They're just having problems getting a new fleet and stuff like that. So that's how I ended up with this cargo van. And I come bringing it home, and oh my gosh, it was so noisy. And I told Mike, I said, this thing is so noisy. He said, well, let me see what I can do. So I come outside later on. There he is out there. We had scrap carpet left from when we put carpet in a couple of our rooms. There he is cutting carpet. He's carpeted this thing and made it really nice. We got us a shaggin' wagon.
Nice.
Yep. And he stepped carpet in the wheel wells and stuff to just tone down the noise. So we've had quite an adventure this week.
Yeah. Well, I know that you're driving around. I didn't want to keep you on too long, but I appreciate you calling in. Maybe one of these days we can, have you guys back on, like a regular show, I don't know, a few weeks or something, and see what happens.
Okay.
Maybe Tara wants to come on too, she's starting to come out of her shell a little bit.
Well, she tried.
Yeah, she gives it a shot.
Well, you need to tell people, it's kind of expensive to go to Crime Con, but really, if they're interested in stuff, because, they had Kim Goldman from the O.J. Simpson case there this time.
Oh, yeah? Huh.
Yeah. So they've got some this time, they have some really neat panels.
Oh,
and
yeah.
If anybody's really into this stuff, they really need to give it a shot one time.
Yeah, I definitely think that, I think it just wasn't that busy this year because it's kind of still working on the COVID situation.
Well, they didn't, right. They weren't sure they were even going to have it.
Right.
Because they had told, because I made arrangements to go to it back, I don't know, January. And they said then, well, we aren't sure we're going to have it. But I went ahead and made hotel reservations and stuff like that just in case. And it wasn't till the middle to end of April that they even said, yeah, we are going to have it, but it's probably going to be half capacity. And I had to wait to see how many vendors and stuff they were allowed to have.
Yeah, see, that's exactly
that. Okay.
Right, and that's why, I couldn't even, I needed a lot more, time prior to be able to go to something like that. I can't, I wouldn't just be able to go, oh yeah, next week I'm going. It needs to.
Well, next year is in Vegas. Oh.
Yeah, and I live
by
closer.
The way,
Yep.
I can't remember. I'm terrible. Because I talked to so many people this weekend. But I did talk to somebody that has a case. And you know how there's sometimes people there that they've got family members that have been murdered,
Yeah.
but they haven't got the publicity or whatever. And she was from Washington State.
Oh, interesting.
And I told her to give you a call because it did sound like an interesting case.
Did you give her my number, or is she going to give me a call? Or?
I said you need to contact Gray Hughes. He's a YouTuber, and tell him I told you to call because I think he could help you.
Well, awesome.
So you may have somebody calling you saying, I don't even think she took my last name. Becky told me to call you.
Okay, but you gave her my number, right, to call me?
Well, no, I don't give out phone numbers without permission.
Oh, okay. Well, somehow, maybe she'll get a hold of me on Facebook or something, or...
Well, I told her you were on Facebook, and she wrote your name, wrote it down, Gray.
Hey, did you hear that, everybody? Gray, not Grey, or Gary, or Greg. That's incredible. I always tell people my diploma said Gary on it. Okay, from college. How do you like that?
Got some cops. I'm going to get off of here.
Oh, okay, you got some cops. Okay, all right. Well, take care. Thanks for calling in. Be safe. All right, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Awesome. Well, I hope I hear from that individual. What I don't know what case it is or anything like that. Maybe she knows more about it and can tell me later. So I don't know what that was a weird bot that kicked in over there. I gotta go check something out really quick. I didn't go to CrimeCon because it was too late when they said it. Plus, I just, I hadn't had my vaccines yet or anything, vaccinations. And so now I am. So if it was like in a month from now, I might have done it. But let's see. I don't know why. It was weird, that one bot that came in and kicked off Richard for having, I think it was all caps. I think that was what the deal was. Let's see. We've got... Oh, let me turn off. There we go. All right. I'm turning off Cloud Bot. That's what I might need to be switching to here pretty soon, though. All right, got some calls here, or at least one. All right, 519. 519. Yeah, you got to turn down your audio.
Okay, how you doing?
Huh? Oh, I can't hear you. Yeah, what's going on? Who's this?
Yeah, I'm from Canada.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm calling to I wish I would have been able to get on when Becky was there and ask her what's in the casket.
What kind of a dumb question is that? Get the hell out of here. Jeez.
Hey, buddy, there's no murder happened.
Oh, God. What an idiot. I don't know if you guys could hear that idiot. He said there was no murder that happened in Delphi. What's in the caskets? It's all just... Okay, listen. Wow. We've heard them all now, everybody. We've heard them all. The difference between me and some other channels is I won't listen to that person. Okay? I don't... Once I hear crap like that, I get the hell out of there. All right. Freaking stoner. And why don't you smoke a little bit more dope next time? I almost need to take my island vacation right now. This is... But anyways, if you guys would like to support my channel, feel free to do so. You guys support my channel, and it goes to supporting me and the charities that we donate to at the end of the month, especially the DNA fund that we're building up. Okay. So I tell everybody the same thing. Now we've already donated over $2,000 to the Libyan Abbey Ballpark and given $1,000 in their name to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. All right, let me get this music. Wow, that's just crazy. Whew, wow. You know what he said? He says, "I wish that Becky was still on the phone so he could ask who was in the caskets, because there was no murder." It's like, oh God, what a lunatic. Isn't that incredible? You have people like that. Thank you, Alicia Powers. Oh, by the way, I actually drove out today to southeast Portland for the Cindy Powers, same last name as Alicia right there, the Cindy Powers murder that we talked about the other night, and I drove the entire route, and I actually recorded the route using my phone and exported the KML file and uploaded it to Google Earth, and you can see the exact. And then I went to the Lowe's and I walked back to the area behind the building. And I started off at the house, drove to the first bus stop, took a left, went to 82nd, drove all the way down to the mall, and then I drove to where the little bus stops are at the Clackamas Town Center, then went to Denny's, and I showed you there's employee entrances behind the building. Yeah. So I did get all that too. What kind of an idiot calls up to say that? Almost makes me just want to bail on the whole show. Hopefully you guys didn't hear much. I was trying to have him muted. So now you can hear the music, right? Yeah, I'll probably do it on a different show. Tonight's show's for, as it says in the title, it's regarding the Delphi case. No, I didn't get to play any golf this weekend. Now you heard that? Hey, Michelle, you timed the person out for the wrong reason. They were saying what they heard on the phone. Hey, Kevin, you got accidentally timed out because she thought you were saying, like you were literally saying, I heard there were no murders. But what you were saying is on my call, you could hear that. So I understand what Michelle was doing. At least you were only timed out. But it could have gone either way. I would have timed somebody out if I thought that they meant, I heard there were no murders, and that's it. You know. Okay, yeah, I have this little button here. I wasn't sure what direction it was in. Anyways, the lines are open if you want to call in about the Delphi case. I don't think the bots are working. They have a new version of it online. A cloud bot. But as you can see, it actually blocked one of... let's see. Yeah, Watts's comments because they were all caps. It even had a thing in there. So anyways... it is what it is. I don't know what that face is, Jennifer. Let's see. Never understood what that meant. Thank you, Holly. Oh, that the bots don't work? Okay. Well, I don't remember it now, so don't know what it means. Learning what little squiggly faces mean aren't really on the top of my priority list of remembering something. Of course you do, Norwegian. Of course you do. Let's see. Well, I don't remember what it was. So when you say yes I do, if I did, I wouldn't have asked what it meant. See? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I remember that night we were kind of clicking around. Let's see. Let me try it again since nobody wants to. Let's see. Which one's the squiggly face? Can't find it. Yep, don't see it. Oh well. Okay, bewildered. There you go. Hey, who cares, Norweg? I mean, it's like, does it mean, does it give you any inside information on the case? I mean, who cares that you know the pathologist? It doesn't mean anything. It's like you keep wanting to type it in. Hey, we go to the same church. Also worked in the same hospital for 10 years, everybody. Please, give me some credibility. Wait, even though I'm not the pathologist, I want you to all think that I'm really important because I know the pathologist. Okay, just, who cares, all right? Man, how many times are you going to type that in? Yes, Cairo. I don't know when it was built. Long time ago. That's right.
Gray, you're so mean, gee. No wonder your subscriber counts aren't going up.
Oh wait, how come they're higher than almost all the other people that are doing the same thing? You know, it's just it's unbelievable. Listen, I only want specific types of people subscribing here. You know, the people that aren't lunatic, fringe, anything counts. Okay. I got sent to jail. Ah, crap. Maybe somebody can get me out of here. Unless, of course, you want me to stay in here for the whole show. Hey! Oh, look at Lee D got me down to -5. Yeah, but how does it put the nutcases to rest, Norweg? How does it put anybody to rest? Because you're not saying anything that he would have said. It just doesn't make any sense, you know. Thanks, Lee D. Jeez, now I'm in.
Thanks, Lady G.
There got to be a character that's Mary Lou, a cartoon character, don't you think? Okay, that got me to even, and then Jessica Schubach, some bail. She got me a couple Snicker bars and to get me start packing the bags. This Rita Schaefer just got me back to 0. And then $3 is probably enough to get that. Oh, there we go. Okay, now Georgina Stoliker and Susie Heath for sure got me out the door and a cab ride home. Thank you. Something in between? You mean like the sketches?
No bail.
Here, let me see what one sounds like right in the middle. Hold on.
Hey, gosh, Gray, you're so mean.
There you go. That is a weird one. Yeah,
You're so mean, Gray.
that is a weird one. That's crazy. Oh, wait, let me get out of here. Gray, you're so mean. That's okay, Norweek. Don't worry about it. I didn't really understand why he was even being brought up. There's Julie Melvin claims that the medical examiner told her about the crime scene. So hopefully he wasn't the one that actually told her a damn thing. Wow, thanks, Laura Nelson, Kim F. Sharp, Harp, and Layla, my Layla.
Layla, my Layla.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Yep, later. Anyways, yes, the phone lines are open for you to call in and discuss Delphi if you'd like to. The first caller that we had, he seemed rational. Okay, good. So she was lying then. It's easy to see if she was lying or not, because she was one of those people that believed in some weird stuff, forceps and whatnot.
Bad attitude tonight you have.
Thank you. I think it's pretty good, Layla, my Layla. I think it's a great attitude. But thanks for the $5 to tell me that. I appreciate it. Yeah, so the first caller was decent. He was talking about how he thinks maybe the killer was out there to actually kill Cheyenne and somebody else, but they weren't there yet, so he just kind of... It doesn't make sense to me, really. Just to me, it's sort of trying to find something that to make something work. All right, 309.
Hey, Grace, this account.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, jeez.
Oh god.
Here we go.
Oh.
Now, I just called tonight. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead to what? I didn't have anything to say.
Okay. I just called tonight. You know what? I was listening to Becky, and I don't have any case theories, nothing for you. But I just want to get right to the heart of it and say, Delphi to me is about Libby Abby. And I know we do this every week, and, it's very important to keep the case out there. But those girls, I don't know what it is. And there's so many cases that we all cover, right? Well, you do. I'm sorry. And we follow. But for whatever reason, those girls, they're just, in the middle of a week, they'll just pop into my head. And I think it's the same probably for a lot of the viewers out there. And you just think, here they were. I never met them. I don't have a 14-year-old daughter, but if I did, that would be the kind of girls that I would want my 14-year-old daughter, to be friends with. They're going this nice long weekend. They're trading off like we all did. When we were young, you went to your friend's house and stayed the night that weekend, and then you swapped the next night. If I remember right, they went to a movie and just, did softball and crafting. I know they did crafting. I do remember that. I'm just calling tonight basically to say I can't wait for the day, and I do really think this one, and it's been a hard one, but I do think that this one's gonna get solved, and at the heart of it is those two girls who are they just keep you stuck to this case, you know. I hope that makes sense for me, anyways. You know, they're ones that I created a little space in the heart there, I guess, for them, and you know, I can't wait for the day that they get a solve on this one.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to dance a jig. I don't know what a jig. I don't know what a jig is. It's just something I've heard. So, I'm.
You said you're going to do it. Okay. Well, can I hold you to it?
I don't know. Let me see what a jig is. If it hurts my knees.
Yeah, I know we got to see, right?
If it hurts my knees, I can't do it.
Okay. But you're going to do something, right?
Oh no! I'm not gonna.
Oh my
I'm not gonna do
gosh.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird too, like how these girls, like, and I never met them. I don't know them, but like they stick with you, and it's like you just think about them, you know, so full of life, and they had all their hopes and dreams ahead of them, and just such fun kids. It seems like, you know, just good kids, and
yeah, they're just really good kids that were just doing what kids do in small towns like that. They were just like, hey, let's go have fun at a park, you know, where the bridge is. They'd gone there a million times, or at least Libby had. Abby hadn't really gone across the bridge, but, you know, maybe they went there and took pictures. Anyways, they were just going to be playing around like little kids. They looked like they were having fun even on the bridge in those photographs. And then, you know, and then a psycho killer shows up and kills them.
I know, but it is really where, just like you said, I mean, even in that day where they wanted to go down there and do this, it was just kind of on the fly, and, you know, but they were interested in doing this fun thing, and, you know, maybe being a little bold and brave today, and having cool pictures and stuff. I don't know. They just, for whatever reason, this one, you know, I mean, I'm always for the victims, always, but and that's not that anybody else, you know, isn't more or less important, but sometimes they just stick with you, you know. And this, for me, this is one where it's like and actually, I kind of share a little story if you don't care. It is related. I don't know if you have another caller or not, but if it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was leaving kind of a a business area one afternoon, and we have like a bike park and a trail that goes a very long distance. And it was, I don't know, 12, 13, 14-year-old, two of them, two little girls. One had her little sun hat on, and so I'm in my car, and I just stopped there at that stop sign, and they look at me, and I wave them across, and they just smiled, and I waved and smiled back, and they were laughing and having fun. And I'll bet you it was a 30-minute drive to home. And after I passed those girls, I just thought, you know, it popped into my head again with Abby and Libby. And I tell you what, I thought about them the whole way home, and I don't really know what to say, except just they created a space, I think, and I know it's not just for me. I know it's for a lot of people out there. You know, we get a little space in our hearts for these girls, and like you said, the day that this is solved, we're going to be doing a little jig or whatever our knees can tolerate, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, you every time you see two girls walking around now, you get paranoid that something bad's going to happen to them?
Oh, no, not at all. No, it was actually quite the opposite. When I saw them, I just thought, you know, they're riding on their bike, and like they were just having fun. They were laughing, and it was where
you were just kind of picturing them as that. You were like thinking like, wow, that's kind of how they were, and then, you know, like, wow, wouldn't that be, you know, if these two girls, the same thing happened to them, it'd be sort of a similar, like, they were just having fun doing what kids do, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like, and it wasn't even at that moment. It was just like I had to go up to the light and then take my left, and, you know, and then I was just kind of they were just so cute the way they waved and said, you know, like hi, you know, and they were just laughing and stuff. And I was like, oh, what a sweet age to be, you know, just regular thoughts. And, you know, just they were having fun. You could tell, you know, when you see people having fun, then you kind of think of fun too. And then, you know, like I said, a few minutes later, I'm like, oh my gosh. And it just, well, I wouldn't even say, oh my gosh, it just kind of pops in there, and you're just like, it's like you're kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say it's like you're seeing the same thing, because it's not, but you're just seeing girls that age doing what girls that age are doing, and then the idea that, like, somebody would just do what they did. So, you know, I don't like that, you know, I don't. But the girl's got a place in the heart. So, and I hear you have another caller. So, I'm gonna let you get to them. I didn't have much else to say for you.
All right. Well, thanks, Jessica. I'm gonna go get that call, but appreciate it.
Yeah, always. Thanks, Gray, for everything you do. Okay.
All right, and I feel the same way you do. All right, have a good one.
See you in the chat.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, you should call yourself the concierge of BS, okay? You keep typing in the same thing over and over and over. Okay? No, sorry, wrong park. All right, here we go. I see. Oh, man. So they were throwing softballs on this little narrow trail. That's where they wanted to go do it. Okay, well, listen. Hey, see you later, buddy. Go do something else. All right, 770. 770, you're on. Yep, I can hear you.
Hey, Siri, Layla.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
I think I've got feedback. Hold on.
Yeah, you got to turn off the show audio.
Yeah, hold on. How's that?
Yeah, you start talking. People are just like looking in the air at nothingness. What do you got?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we've been able to hear you the whole time.
Okay, but I couldn't hear you.
Okay, yeah, because you're listening to the audio from the show, not the phone call. See, when you call in, you just use the phone. Don't listen to the...
Yeah, no, I know, but I couldn't hear you on even the phone. That's why.
I wonder how that would happen.
So here's why I called. I just want to ask a question. Why is it that as long as the Delphi case has been around, and as many YouTube channels as there are, I'm not mentioning them, and as many shows as have been out, what is 2020 and HLN and all these others, how is it that we still get people that write and ask questions that make no sense about the Delphi case?
Well, that's because there are so many YouTubers, and there's some of them that really don't give a shit about factual information. They just put out whatever seems interesting and sort of the newest BS line so that they can create a show based off of crap. You know, it's like having that Harmon guy on. He messaged me. He claims his dad and his son are the killers, so he messaged me over and over again. And there's no way in hell I'd have a clown like that on my show, where another YouTuber allowed him on to throw out all of his bullshit to the praise of so many lunatics, okay? So the thing is that's what's going on. You know, there's only a few different people who do live shows, and a lot of people gravitate to them. And then there's also the really big YouTubers who have put videos out, and they're not even that accurate. You know, they'll still say, oh, now they're wondering if there's a person behind that tree, And maybe those are two people at the start of the bridge when we've already determined that none of that's accurate. They also put out the incorrect locations of the crime scenes. Even the big networks still don't have the crime scene circled in the right spot. It's not even close. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
That's what annoys me. I mean, we've been following this case for a very long time, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. I see written in the comments, and I'm not trashing anyone in the comments, because if there's new people, and that's the purpose of us continuing to do this, if there's new people out there asking questions, that's fine. But what I see are people asking questions that they've clearly gotten wrong information from somewhere else. That is, and I'm not talking about tonight necessarily. I'm talking about, well, weren't they out there because they were lured out there by somebody online? Where are they getting this? No, there's no evidence of that.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter to them. Here's the thing. There's a lot of the problem is these people, there was a whole panel at CrimeCon about exactly this. See, there's people like Greeno, for example, right? He puts out garbage, completely bullshit information, but he has these suckers that are all going to be suckers at some point because he's a grifter, all right? So he puts out absolutely crap information, and there's going to be people out there that are all going to one day wake up. All they had to do was look the guy up on Google, but they don't do it because he's so neat and he gives them what they want. It's crazy. He allows all the craziness to come on, and it's so interesting for them. So the problem is they listen to that crap, and now it's what that's what they're interested in, and there's a market, quote market for it. It's bizarre. Like these people, they realize that they put out enough bullshit and sensationalize things just enough that the same people that that came to them because of that will just keep watching fanatically instead of actually realizing, man, what is this? Okay, for example, the person I just mentioned has never worked with police, ever. He says it on all the shows that he works with police. He says these things that are literally untrue and provably untrue. And I know for a fact that law enforcement thinks he's an idiot, like literally an idiot person. Okay, so they think, although they did say that he's good at editing, he's pretty clever with the yay, bang, zing, boing, the little stuff like that. But an absolute idiot. So I don't know what's going on. Unfortunately, people like watching that stuff because there's charisma and all this stuff going on. But man, you guys got to watch out. Got to watch out. All right.
Well, he's done some things here in Georgia where I live, and he's
all over the place.
On some backlash here in Georgia where I live. He does not have a good reputation here.
Yeah, you could make an entire true crime show just on that one individual, and it would be a legitimate show. Like it would be, like you're going through all these different cases. Oh, here's one you could do, and it would be amazing. So I always got that. I've got a lot of screen grabs and things just waiting to go. I always had hope that maybe he would change his ways, but he really hasn't. He's the same person he's always been. He's just now has a bigger following, which is scary, and he's able to.
Yeah, that's the
he's
problem.
suckering people. Okay, it's like look at my channel. We've done like people always get, Greg, your channel isn't doing shit. Well, listen, we here have donated $40,000 since January 2020, and if I made $40,000 in that same period of time myself, or 50 even, who cares? I mean. I have a channel that is monetized, and I am making income. I don't have to do anything, okay? But we've donated $40,000, making a difference, and I have to. So I mean, the thing is, there's so many people out there on YouTube that could make much bigger difference. They just don't want to. Okay, I don't know. I get so frustrated with this whole thing. It drives me nuts. So.
Yeah, and that's because my biggest issue is when they're spending their time putting out wrong information wherever these folks are getting it from, then that's bad information going out there, and it spins wheels of people like you, like those of us that know the correct information, and that takes away from correcting. It takes time away from maybe getting the bad guy. And it looks like as time goes by, this Chadwell guy is not going to be it. I truly didn't really believe it was to begin with, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And then look at how Becky came on. See, we covered Chadwell. I've always said, well, he's got a very low chance of being the person. He's interesting, for sure, right? We definitely said that. He's an interesting person because but his MO was totally different. And now you have Becky
well, at least
saying
he's off the street, and that's good.
Yeah, he's another really crappy human. But there's so many people that really, really believe he's the one. And I guess they haven't come out yet and said, no, he's not the one. But obviously Becky has a little bit more information. And obviously they've probably told her that it doesn't seem like he's going to be the guy.
Yeah.
So
that's all I wanted to say.
See, what's interesting about it, though, is think of all the people who, it doesn't sound like it's going to be Chadwell. And think about all the people who kept saying, oh, God, no, his voice is the same. Look at the picture. Oh, look that's a tattoo of Libby and all that. Okay, well, listen. If it's not him, then that's not a tattoo of Libby, right? Oh, no, Gray, it just means that he okay. Listen. It's not a tattoo of Libby. Never was. Never looked like her to me at all. Yes, she was smiling. Oh, my God. A similar smile. Well, when people smile, their mouths go like this, right?
I thought his brother or somebody said that tattoo came about in 2016 anyway. But nevertheless, people are stretching. And it's just like when you look at the guy that, the suspect or the person that we know killed him, they look at his outfit and they say, oh, that's this, oh, that's that, that's a puppy out of there, that's this out of there, that's an alien spaceship coming out of his jacket. People make everything up.
Yeah, no, it's one thing that it does seem mildly interesting is that there's some people that say that the guy had like a facial scarf on or something at some point, and that little white squiggly that you see, maybe that was what that was. Right below his chin there, that little white squiggly. Maybe he put a mask on, had a hoodie and a hat. There was a guy, not a YouTuber, but a guy on Facebook that he passed away, but I didn't get along with him at all. He was, just a wild speculator, but he did seem to have some decent information from time to time, and that stuff seemed somewhat reasonable. It wasn't like wild stuff. He said he actually talked to, I think Doug was his name, Doug something or other. Yeah, but anyways, he spoke to a couple. Apparently, he says he spoke to two witnesses, and they said what he saw. Yeah, Doug Rice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
He and I just really never got along at all. He was just all over the place, and with a lot of wrong information. But some of the information that could be right. That actually sort of makes some sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It's there's people that have been over to the hill, and then I know you've got some really good videos that have been out, and I just don't. I know Chadwell was an outdoors guy. It just seems to me like the type of guy he was, the things that were out on Facebook, the things he spoke about, seems to me like he would have spoken or written something. He would have said something. It just seems like he would have, because it sounds like he couldn't have held his water.
Yeah, well, it doesn't sound like it's him. Doesn't sound like it's him.
But anyway, that's all I wanted to tell you. My pet peeve was that, people just don't if they want to come in and ask facts, ask for facts, it seems like that would be one thing, because we welcome new people, to the Freak family and asking questions. But they come in with this information and they're so demanding about it. And it's like, I don't understand it, because you talk to the family. You've got first-hand information. And where they come in with this other information demanding, it annoys me, quite frankly.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I
think it's a good point.
Have a good night.
You said I was in a bad mood.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
You said I was in a bad mood.
I was busting your chop.
Yeah, maybe I am a little bit of one. So.
Yeah, that's all right. How was CrimeCon?
Well, I didn't go to it.
Oh, I didn't know. I've been so absorbed in trying to catch up on work the last few days. I hadn't been able to do anything, and I've had family in town, so it's the first time I've been able to get online in a couple of days onto anything like this. So
yeah.
But I thought I saw something where there was a panel or something. There was a Delphi panel. I thought you were on that.
No, it was. I didn't go to CrimeCon.
Okay.
I don't think I would have been on the panel anyways, because they're putting family members and law enforcement, things like that.
Okay, all right.
I just would have had like a booth, and then maybe done. Well, I won't even say what I do. There's a lot of copiers out there, but
yeah.
All right.
Well, hopefully it went well.
Yeah. Yep. It seemed like it went pretty good. Just not a lot of people there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll get better in the next couple of years. I hope to try to go next year.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for
right.
calling in. Layla, my Layla.
All right. Have a good night.
All right. See you. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, what's going on with these? I don't watch other YouTube videos. The only time I watch something is when somebody goes, "Grady, see what this person," then I go check it out and I go, "Oh God." I never watch YouTubers to learn something. Okay? I never go there to learn something. Every time I do a video or a show on any case, I just look it up myself and try to figure out what I think in that case. Okay? I don't want to know what other people think. And because when I'm doing my show, I want you guys to realize that I'm telling you what I think about it. Not what this person thought, this person thought, this person thought, and I just put it all together. Now I'm saying it. Now we're reading newspaper articles, but those are usually, people do stories that are usually factual. There are errors in them, though. No, well, it's true, Godwin. God, what a moron. Jesus, these people are just... Yeah, I don't want to know what other people think when I'm covering a case. That's why I don't want, when you send me a case suggestion, I don't want you to send me a name and then 75,000 links and your theory at the bottom. I'll probably just throw it in the trash. Okay, because I don't, it's really boring for me to work with that kind of information. Right. I don't know who he was talking about. It seems to be trolling anyways. I'll unhide him. Who knows? Okay, so I'm talking to somebody else. Oh, talking to you. Okay, well that's probably good he was talking to you then. Sorry, Charles. I only read about 6 of your comments. So now you're back in there. You can come back in. My opinion on the 2 sketches is that I think the first one that they released is probably a little bit more accurate. The second one that was released, but it was the first one made, just doesn't look anything like what we seem to be seeing. So my opinion on the sketches is that they're almost useless at this point. I think what is useful is the video and the audio, and they should be playing that. Why? I mean, it's almost like, why have a sketch when you have a video and the audio? Just play that over and over and over, all over the place, and see if somebody comes forward. The sketch, however, man, the sketches are notoriously bad. Right? Thank you for what? Are you talking to me? You talking to me? Yeah. Yeah, I just think that the sketches are just kind of like, yeah. They don't really look. They're not meant to look exactly like anybody. They're just sort of a representation of what somebody described, perhaps. You don't even know if they saw the right person. The two sketches are so dramatically different that I think once those were released, it really sort of hindered the entire thing. Okay? Really, all they need to do is keep playing the video and the audio. Now, if you'd like to support my channel, to keep allowing me to do what I'm doing, you can send in super chats, or you can become a channel member. All of that goes towards that too. At the end of the month, I take at least 40% of the income after taxes from YouTube and donate it to true crime related charities. All right, here we go. And unfortunately, because we're donating so much money, that's sort of become part of the show now. Okay, I hate asking and bringing it up, but if I don't, it actually makes a difference. Okay, so here we go. 832. Hello, who's this?
This is Ya.
Oh, Ya again? What's going on?
Well, I want to call to kind of give you my theory, not so much of a theory, but I guess some of the ideas I had at the beginning of the case. My viewpoint has actually changed a lot since I've been watching your coverage. So originally, I kind of felt like someone may have been stalking them, and I did feel like it may have been an online connection of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily them communicating with someone, but you know, that cache theory that was going around, or also
the geocaching.
Yes, that. Okay, something like that, like where someone can see your activity without you knowing that someone is watching your activity. Also, Snapchat has a feature like that.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry. Sorry
people can tag locations, right? So, for example, they could have tagged the bridge location, and anybody looking up the bridge tag could see pictures or videos coming in from that location. But it later came to my attention that that feature was not available in 2017.
Yeah.
So that kind of disproved my theory about someone possibly watching the tags. And I guess I still think something like that could be possible, you know? But I am more onto your theory now, right? Where this is just random. This is just someone stalking the area instead.
Yeah, it was like his fishing hole, you know. He's just sitting there waiting for, you know, but little different, you know, but it's his place. He was just waiting to find somebody that fell into his trap.
Mhm. Yeah, because I remember you did the What's Your Profile show one time, the call-in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would definitely pin this guy as a hunter. I mean, definitely an avid outdoors person.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently started watching more about Israel Keys. Like, I knew who Israel Keys was, but I recently started looking more into it, and he was doing that, right? Exactly what we are theorizing that Bridge Guy did, which is just hunt a location, right? Like, pick a place. So my question for you is, do you think Bridge Guy could have had a kill kit somewhere in the woods? Because the sketches are so different from one another. My thought was, what if he had a costume, like, stashed somewhere, right? Where he could easily walk in the woods looking one way, put his costume on, go do what he was doing, pull out his weapons or whatever he needed.
I don't know. I don't think he had a kill kit sitting somewhere. I think he had like he had what you see on him is what he had. He might have had to kill, if you want to call a kill kit what he had under his coat, maybe. I don't think he buried some kill kit somewhere and then dug it up somewhere. I think he has whatever he has underneath the coat.
Right.
It just seems like that we're just trying to make it seem more Keysy, it's like, it's trying too hard. Like somebody's mimicking Israel Keys or something.
Well, that was going to be my following question for you. Could this be a copycat? Could it be someone?
Okay. Yeah, but when you sure. I mean, listen. If you say, is it possible? I have to say, yeah, it's possible, right? I always have to say it's possible. It's always possible that something, 1 in a billion maybe. I just think it's like, what would make you think? There's nothing to suggest that he's copycatting Israel Keys in this case at all, right? I mean, do you know of a fact that points to that he is copying?
No, it's just a random. Because my thing is, I think there was definitely a costume and there was definitely something on him while he was on the bridge. And the two sketches and the descriptions, it made me think like he went in looking one way, put on whatever he was going to put on, and then took it off.
Right, but see, that's what the problem. See what you're doing there is exactly what the problem was with introducing the two sketches, because now it opens the door for all this sort of like, wow. So maybe he put on a sort of a graying goatee and he had a different kind of hat. And then he took the hat off, and that's why that one girl knew. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I mean, anything's possible, but I don't see it.
I feel like he was trying to make himself look heavier. More than any costume, I think he was trying to make himself look a little heavier than he actually is.
Well, I think a lot of people think
he
looks heavier.
But I agree with you. That's the... Yeah. I'm sorry,
well, I was just going to say, people think he looks a little heavier, just barely, because there is stuff underneath the jacket in the front there. But other than that, there was no effort to make his arms look really big. There was no effort to make his legs look really big. So people go, oh, look, he's got a pot belly. Well, we don't know if he has a pot belly because there's stuff underneath the jacket right there. We have no way of knowing that answer to that question.
So my next point about Chadwell, right? Because I also don't really think it's Chadwell. I think he just seems so sloppy. And like you said, I just don't see him pulling that off. But one of the press conferences, when they had the FBI guy there, he said the person might change their behavior, their habits, they may start drinking. What if that happened, right? Like, what if he got so drunk and on drugs and consumed maybe by not being caught and then got sloppier? Because that's another thing with Israel Keys, right? The last crime was so sloppy compared to the previous ones. Like, what happened there? So now I also feel a little more credible about Chadwell. But at the same time, I still have so many doubts.
Well, did you miss the beginning of the show? Did you miss the beginning of the show?
I did actually. I missed all of Becky Patty's.
Right. Well, Becky Patty spent 5 minutes talking about how they've told her that they're not really that interested in Chadwell, and that so many people think it's him and start, oh, congratulations, Becky, and they, so sort of a little bit like you.
Yeah.
You're a little excited about something when there's really no reason to be excited. He was 20 miles away. He did assault somebody that's 8 years old. His MO is totally different.
Right.
Has some similarities. He was an interesting person. Let's just put it that way. But other than that, there was nothing to be like, oh my God, it's Chadwell. Right?
Yeah. No. See, I really don't think it's Chadwell. At the beginning, I didn't, and I still don't. But that, like, thinking about it in that way, what the FBI agent had said about them changing, and like I said, I just was reading about Israel Keys. So I'm kind of just thinking recently these thoughts that I wanted to run by you. And
well, Cairo's our local he's a big follower of Israel Keys.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he that's one of the serial killers that he's really interested in. So, yeah, I mean, we've talked about him quite a few times together, not on the show, but I just don't think it's going to be something where there was this guy that was imitating Israel Keys. There might be people that said, oh wow, he made me think of, it's great to have everything planned and ready to go to bring with you to commit a killing, but I don't think there was like a kill kit buried in the ground somewhere and then he dug that one out. I mean, if it is, you should start your own psychic network. Because there really isn't any. There's no evidence. There's no evidence whatsoever. So if it does become true, it'll be pure luck unless you can say that you're a psychic.
Maybe.
See, there
I'll
you go.
call you back. If it happens, I'll call back and be like, hey, I am a legit psychic now. I have proof on the Gray Hughes network or channel.
Okay.
It's there.
What is
I'm just kidding.
Okay, what is this saying? What is this saying? What's this saying?
Oh my God! It just cursed me out, Gray.
It's EVP reading. See?
They just cussed me out. Those ghosts don't like me.
Oh, what did they say?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, come on. No, you should have kept going. What did they say? Oh, man. You're kidding. Okay, so they didn't talk to you. Okay, I heard one of them say, it clearly says, I want a McDonald's shake. But,
anyways. Maybe that's what I heard. I thought I heard a bad word in there.
I couldn't tell if it was chocolate or strawberry, though. That's the problem I'm having. But, all right. Thanks for calling in. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Good night.
All right. Have a good one. See ya. All right. 207. Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. What's going on? Pretty good. What's going on? Oh, you're the guy that was in the chat a few minutes ago, right? Why I won't answer? Is that why you have your voice changed something like that? Yeah, I think it. Yeah. Well, yeah, I heard your real voice popped in there for a second accidentally, but what's who cares if they were at that park? It wasn't the same park that they went. It wasn't the trails.
I've never saw any there.
That's what he sounds like, everybody. Listen to this clown. Listen to him. Go ahead, keep going.
Why? Some softball at the Monon High Bridge. I didn't ask that. I asked you, were they at Riley Park practicing softball? Because Flannel Shirt Guy was at Riley Park taking.
Wow! Wow! That's incredible! Yeah. You've nailed it, man! You figured out the case! The Flannel Shirt Guy! You did it, man!
this,
Hey,
Ray?
Jay.
Why can't you just come out and answer the damn question?
You solved the case, man. They were throwing
Why can't
softballs
you-
at a park.
At the park on the 12th by themselves.
Who cares? Who gives a damn?
You don't think that's a coincidence? Flannel shirt guy seeing them at the park on the 12th by themselves, and then he just so happens to be there on the 13th and sees two girls by themselves.
Hey, it's a different park, man. It's a different park.
Damn, he was at Riley Park. What park? Gray.
It's a different one.
He's not. It is not a different park.
So-
He was at the damn park where they were practicing softball
Who
at.
cares if they were at the same park practicing?
Why
if he
are
was
you
there?
saying it's a different one? You don't think that's important?
Because
fact?
it's the trails where the next day.
It's not the trails.
I know it's a different
That's what
park.
I'm-
You know what? You're a lunatic. Get out of here. All right.
Why are you avoiding the questions? What I'm
There
asking?
isn't a question that I'm avoiding. It's that you made it seem like they were dropped off at the same place that they were on the next day, and it wouldn't make any difference anyways because let's say the flannel shirt guys. Let's just say the flannel. Hey clown, listen. Let's just pretend that the flannel shirt guy saw him at Riley Park the day before on the 12th. How would he know that they were going to be at the Monon High Bridge trails the next day? How do you know that?
He wouldn't.
They said to him,
wouldn't know that.
"Hey, Mr.
That's
Flannel
not
Shirt
what I
Guy,
asked.
we'd like to
You're-
meet you
you're-
out there."
You are putting stuff in my mouth that I have not said. That's not what I asked. I asked.
Listen to this
were
guy,
they
everybody.
at the Riley Park on the 12th, and you kept avoiding the question.
You said at the park. You never said. Then you switched it to Riley Park later. Once you realized, ooh, yeah, you were implying that they were at the same park the day before.
You can't admit that you're wrong every once in a while.
What are you talking about? I don't care that they were if they went to Riley Park the day before. What difference does it make?
That's all I was asking. Were they at Riley Park on the 12th, and you kept avoiding it?
You kept saying, I don't know. I don't care if they were at Riley's Park. I do not give a shit.
I asked if you cared.
I know, but I don't.
I asked if you cared.
Listen to this guy. Listen to this psycho. Listen to this psycho.
I asked if you cared. Were they there? What's wrong with you? You're wrong. You got proof that you was wrong, and you're lying.
This guy's psycho, man. Oh, listen. Who cares if they were at the flannel shirt guy was at a same park that the girls might have been at the day before? Who cares? So somehow
all of that is irrelevant.
So somehow he psychically knew that they were going to be there the next day. Who cares, man? Get the hell out of here.
I care.
I don't care.
You
that
are
care.
bullied.
And you won't be able to call back again. It doesn't even mean anything, though. See, look at Justice Janie's like, wait a minute, coincidence? Ooh. Who gives two shits? You know? Man, wow. People are just crazy. People are nuts. Oh my God. All right, you guys. I'm going to go take my beach vacation now. Thanks. You guys are going to have to help me out.
Blah! Was he at the park? I don't care.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Leah Marie. Man, what a psycho. Jesus, who cares if he was at the park? Let's say there's a flannel shirt guy at the same park as they were the day before. The guy, the flannel shirt guy, is the city type person. And then somehow he said, "Hey, meet me at the park tomorrow, kids." Just give me a break. Give me a break. It's stupid. Thanks, Jen H. I think I do need some Advil. That's absolutely no doubt about that one at all. Don't worry, be happy. Thank you, Allie Cake. One for me. Yikes, yeah. See what I'm saying? Look at the nut jobs that follow this case. That guy's perfectly at home on the Grifters channel. Yeah. The flannel shirt guy is just some guy that was on the trail when Derrick showed up and he was looking for his kids, and he said, "No, I only saw a couple adults down there," and he was on the trail. Yeah, that's it. So what? Man, how do you not know who the flannel shirt guy is? Thanks, Marine Co. And Kathy Freidenmaker. Right, they didn't even know they were going there until, well, let's just say noon or later. It just doesn't matter. He's trying to correlate that there's something nefarious, that he might have been at the same park with him, or the girls, the day before. He just happened to be in the park. With no evidence whatsoever, by the way. That's pretty slow, Spaghetti Lee. Hey, thanks, Quietly Frozen. I am noisily not. I mean, I am just... Oh, man. Thanks, freaks. Yeah, this month sounds like it's going to be a little bit less than last month, but you know what? We're still going to be building up the genetic genealogy fund. No doubt about it. I forgot what his name was. What was his name in the chat? Alright, anyways, I'll be back in just a second. Yeah, slow-mo is on. That's right. Sorry. It's set to 10 seconds. Oh, yeah. That's what I told him. He's the concierge of BS. Okay. And by the way, would anybody want a concierge that sounds like him? Hey, sir, do you know any good restaurants around here? Oh my God, there's one of the McDonald's on the street! Who knew you asked me that question? Right. Okay, yay, all right. Wow. Oh, thank you, Christy B up there. Yeah, but, yeah. Like I was saying, would anybody really want a concierge that sounded remotely like that person? He called in like this.
Hey, Gray, let me just tell you.
And then he accidentally got his real voice in there. So I called him out on it. Here's the thing, man. Almost every guy, 60% of the guys that call are trolls. 0 women call are trolls. So there you go. And here it is, a tequila sunrise. Thank you, guys. Oh. All right, let me get back. There we go. Oh, did it phone ring? Okay. Probably the same guy using a different number. All right, 574. Oh, jeez. Hey, what's going on? Who's this? Are you sure? Go. All right, go ahead. What's going on? I knew it was that person. That's awesome. Yeah, it was the same person. Yeah. It was the same troll, everybody. The same troll. Unfortunately, that number too will be blocked. All right. That's unreal, man. Unreal. It looks like it sort of froze up a little bit there. A little bit of buffering. I don't feel like it, Cindy Lean. What are you talking about? What? Jesus. Man, why don't you start run your own show there, Cindy? Jesus, are you kidding me?
Why not let him finish what his point was? Gee.
Are you kidding me? He's a psycho. That's why. What kind of a dumb comment is that? God. Unreal. Well, go ahead. Yeah, reach out to him. See if you can get some information. If he wanted to tell what his real point was, he would have said it right off the bat. Thank you, Kentucky Church Guy. Right. It's crazy, Case Cracked. He doesn't have a point. His point his point was, as he said, don't you think it's weird that McCain was at a park with the 2 girls, that we have no evidence that that's even true, the day before, and then he was also walking the trails the next day? And no, it doesn't seem weird at all. And what difference would it make? Do you think they called McCain up and said, hey, we're going to be at the park? Man, come on, Cindy. Man. Yeah, they're pretty short. Yeah. This is where the trails start right here. 501, that just walks right down to the... I don't even think it's a half mile. Yeah, it's a quarter mile walk to the start of the bridge. A little bit more than that. Yeah, I know what he's saying. He's nuts. Okay. McCain is like 70-something years old. The person on the bridge isn't 70 years old. All right? I'm not going to let somebody that's yelling and using fake voices to be talking on my show, okay? It seems like that'd be pretty obvious, Cindy. Come on. Do you think the cop should realize more? Do you think the cop... I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why he was even asking that question. Look at it. He saw 2 girls alone on the 12th and the 13th. F you, Gray. There you go, Cindy. He just answered your question. He saw 2 girls alone. How do you know that he saw 2 girls alone when they were throwing softballs? How do you know that? Maybe you're the one that was there noticing them, because you seem to know what McCain was doing. Yeah. Yeah, well, this isn't the channel for the wild speculations. People like the concierge of BS are just fine on other channels. You can go ahead and spout out a bunch of garbage and let everybody go, ooh, really good point, man. I don't agree. Let's see. Right. You know, had he called with a sort of a rational sounding voice and talking normally, he probably could have got his point out. But once I realized he was faking a voice and screaming and coming out with some crazy shit. I don't know. Hey, Cindy, do you think that would sound anything like Down the Hill? He'd be like a down the hill, down the hill, down the hill. Hey guys, that's what it would sound like. Okay, so with my experience in creeks, I believe the suspect had knowledge of the area. Yeah, I think he probably did. Yeah, he seemed to kind of know how to where the shallow area was. Oh, come on, Cindy. Jeez. Awesome, physically and emotionally. Yeah, well, kind of. Yeah. He could have got to know the area, though, just by being there for a few hours. You just walk around, you look at things, you figure things out. The thing is, as I said on my show, and then it was also hijacked on another show, was that, you know, where he was parked over here, that makes it seem more like, if that was where he was parked, they seem to think that. If that's where he was parked, it seems like he would kind of know the area, because you don't just know that that's a place. You know, it's you have to come under the freeway here and drive around. It's right there, and then how would you know that also there was a trail that went from the abandoned CPS building that goes onto Freedom Bridge and then down the trails? It's like this perfect deal. And then from here, did he go out through the cemetery? And then you'd think, well, he'd have to know the area as well, because how did he know that walking up the bank through the cemetery puts him back out onto 300 here, which then can lead back to his car and maybe cut back in somewhere. There's actually a bank. It's sort of interesting. Like once you come down like this, as you're walking along this trail, the road is quite a bit above your feet. See that? And you can actually see that on videos. Yeah. Yeah, well, apparently there was a drone out there with night vision, and I messaged with the guy on Facebook, and he didn't remember where he flew it. Like, how in the hell do you not remember that? Well, what he could do is take his drone and export. There's a file on there, and he could tell everybody exactly where he went. I'm not sure why we're not able to get him to do that. Especially if it was a DJI drone. You can actually export the path of the drone, puts you at the height, everything. It shows you exactly where it went. I think he probably flew the drone and went all around over here. All around over here. Nobody was thinking that the girls were going to be on this side of the creek. Because why would they do that? They cross the bridge. You see that on the Snapchat. Then they're going to be over here, maybe walking around, and maybe over in this area. Even more likely just kind of over here. And that actually heads over to where Abby's house was at the time. Hey Nancy. Hey Nancy. Yeah, he did say that. You know what how she replied to him, Nancy? If I was to do that, it would be one bigger than his. Of course, he deleted that one because it was too shameful and truthful. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, Nancy, you keep believing in the grifter, okay? Apparently you haven't gone on to Google and looked the guy up. It's still going on right now. I've had people contact me from the most recent events telling me of the grift, but unfortunately you don't realize it. Oh well, Nancy. Huh? No, you don't know that, Vanessa. I talked to him. He didn't know where he'd been. And your notes wouldn't say anything different because he told me he didn't know. Let's see. And who knows, man? Maybe the trees, if he did do it, then the trees are hovering over. He never said that to me, though, Vanessa. He said he flew in different areas, and he had no idea right now if he could explain where. I even tried to show him on a map. He couldn't. He didn't know what he was looking at. Sad, actually. Yeah, I think it's frightening that people are over there. People can do whatever they want on YouTube, okay? Who is not supported by law enforcement. Look at yesterday. You know the case where I think it's like Fucci case. That kid that stabbed a girl 120 times. He was actually saying that the mother is being framed by the cops. I mean, who doesn't clean jeans? Well, there was blood all over the jeans because he'd stabbed the girl 140 times. The mother was trying to clean the jeans to hide the fact that her son did it. She even brought the jeans into her room after she cleaned them, trying to hide them. And then somebody in the house said, no, you got to go put those back. Okay? But he actually sat there and said it over and over. Oh, I mean, you should go watch it. It is hilarious. And it's really because he wants people to believe that every time he's been arrested, it was him being set up. It was just some kind of... It's always somebody else's fault. It's never what he's doing. Yeah. All right, let's see. Here we go. All right, 503. Hello, who's this? Hello, I can't hear you. Who's this? I can't hear you. Who's this? I can't hear you. It's really quiet. Who is this? I can't hear you. Who is it? Oh, this is David McCain now. Okay. Right. You seem like a nut job. Why are you using all these different phone numbers to call in? Honestly. No, well, the reason is no, it's not how. There's apps on phones that do it. But what I'm wondering is why do you keep doing it over and over again? I don't know if they were. I don't care if they were at the park on the 12th. Do you get it? Okay, but why would I admit to something I don't know about? Like, do you know for sure that they were at that park? Were you there? Okay, so she said that they were, but do you know for certain that they were dropped off and that McCain was right there too?
So you're calling Miss Anna a liar?
I'm not calling her a liar. I'm saying, how do you know that Mr. McCain was there right at that time?
Because he took photographs and wrote an article for the Carroll Comet.
Okay, so he actually goes to parks. He doesn't he? I think he works for the park, like service, right? Something like that.
Yes, sir.
Right. So why wouldn't he be in some of these places?
I just wanted you to admit that. That's all I wanted.
What do you mean admit? I don't. When you keep saying admitting to something, there's nothing I'm admitting to.
You kept avoiding the.
No, I wasn't avoiding your question. I'm not talking to you. You don't run the show. I'm actually talking to other people. Right. Okay, now you're hidden again. See, nobody can hear you. You understand that? It's just you and me talking. This guy, you're crazy. How many drinks have you had tonight, man?
Not enough.
Okay, all right, have a good one. Man, I don't know. I don't know who the hell that is. I think it's just somebody having fun, trying to pretend something. That's what I think. Maybe it's funny now, okay? We'll just laugh with it. What do you mean he does have that grasp, though? What does that mean, Cindy Lynn? Man, your comments are just all over the place. He does have that grasp, though. Yeah, I think he's somebody that's just goofing around, and he's what he's doing. He's sarcastically. It's like dry humor. He's being a caller that is trying to make a big deal out of something he may have heard on another channel that they all made it into a big deal. So he's calling in to pretend it's a big deal. There you go. I think that's what it is. I don't care if she wants him to say down the hill. Look how well I can say it. Watch this. Watch this. Down the hill. Hey guys. Down the hill. See how perfect that is? Boom. Nailed it. Dismount. Perfect 10. Thank you. Whatever this account. Come on, Jesus. 9.8. Okay. Hey guys. Down the hill. Boom! That was a 10 right there. I forgot the little extra. Oh man, that was a 10! Boom! A 5? That sucks, man. I don't know what graspy means. Oh, I mean that what I just did right there? That little extra little Yep. All right, who's calling in? Does anybody have a reasonable call tonight? All right. Here's my theory. Here's my theory, everybody. That the girls are right here. 12:30, whatever. Hey, let's go to the park. Becky says, sure. You can go to the park as long as you have a ride there and a ride back. It's all good. So they got a ride there from Kelsey, arranged the ride back from Derrick. He would take an hour and a half to 2 hours as he was heading down to Frankfurt here to take some pictures for Becky's appraisal business. So while he's driving down there, the girls at about 1:25-ish probably left the house, and they got over here about 1:37, driving on this route that I have right here, the green route. Then it merges with the purple route. That was another route that they would take sometimes, but the green one's the one they took. Drove by the cemetery, parked right here at 1:37. Both the girls got out. And then all we know for sure is that there's a photograph taken at 2:07, which means there's a half hour to walk a 6-minute walk. So, they were probably just whimsically walking. They may have even talked to the killer at some point. He might have been right in this area. Or, who knows? We just don't know, right? So they were just whimsically walking, taking pictures, photos, and then eventually they get to the bridge. Now, the killer, I think, was in the area and saw them, and he probably creeped them out, and then he sort of followed along. And then there's an area here where you can see two directions. You can see this way, and you can see that way. And so he probably watched from a great distance, just kind of seeing what they're going to do. Had they come back, they would have lived. But once they got on the bridge, and I think once they were about halfway, he started walking quickly across that bridge. And they probably saw him coming and thought, oh, he's spooky. So they actually kind of scurried off and hustled a little bit. And I think they got to the other end of the bridge at probably 2:15. 2:15-ish. 2:15. And then the killer, when he's filmed, is just past platform 6, about 60 feet away. Abby's still on the bridge, probably closer to, like if I was going to edit that, I'd move it to about right here. And then she gets off, gets behind Libby. He comes walking, then he probably says, hey guys, when he's about right here. Then he passes them. Abby's right here, Libby's right there, and he's probably standing about right here, and he pulls out a gun, tells them to go down the hill. Then they go down the hill, the hill that gets to the private drive, down to the lower area. My original theories were that he meant to take them back here, but maybe they tried to escape, and he caught them over here, and he ended up killing them. But this might have been his original place, because that's very hidden. It's hidden from it's very hard to see anything from up here. It's also, you can't see anything from up there. And so I always thought it was right there. But regardless, they were found right over here in this area. Now, after that, I think this guy is just a sick serial killer-like person. Whether he has the prerequisite killings, I don't know. I don't think he lives in his mother's basement and drools. Okay? I don't believe that. I think he's probably somebody who has a pretty normal life. And maybe even has some kids and a wife. And he just sort of blends in. And he did this. That's just my opinion. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to read some comments now. Oh, thank you, Nathan. Missed that. Appreciate it. And so then after he gets over here, and then, let's see, this would have been probably 2:30-ish. Could even be later. See, the problem is we don't know. Let's say he did bring him over here. And let's say he started to do some things, and then they were there for 10 minutes, then they bolt. Who knows, right? So 2:15, 2:20 down here. Let's say they're over here at like 2:30, 2:35, right? Well, then Cheyenne starts coming across the bridge at maybe like 2:45, 2:50, and it could be that he heard voices and he couldn't risk them making any noises. because he knew that they could hear the voices too. So maybe maybe he had already killed one and had one alive to assault in some way, but didn't have the time to finish what he started. And so he exited at that point after killing both of them. Once he realized, okay, I gotta kill the second one, walks up I think it was probably Abby, then Libby, like that. That's the order that I think it was. Then walks up through the cemetery, perhaps, or he could have went like this. There's a couple ways. Up through the cemetery to 200 and then across, or up and then around like this, back onto the trail, eventually going back on the Freedom Bridge, but then over that little roundabout or platform, and then gets back to his car and then gets the hell out of there. Right? So it seems like he must have known the area, but was it because he'd been there for a couple weeks? Or we don't know. So that's just it. See how reasonable and rational that sounds? It isn't some wild, crazy... Yeah. Now, could it be something totally different? Yep, it sure could be. I'm just saying all the information right now, all I know 100% sure is where the two photos were taken, where the video was taken, and we know what time one of them was taken, and we know where they were found right here. That's really the only factual stuff, and that there was a shoe found somewhere down in this area. Other than that, a lot of it's just, okay, we now know that the flow went across the bridge and then they ended up here. Therefore, they must have crossed on this shallow sandbar. And that's what I put in the video that I put out on February 23rd or 2nd of 2017, 9 days after the murders. Okay? All right. 812. Yep. Hello.
Hi, Gray. How are you?
Not too bad. How you doing?
I'm fine. This is Stacy. Not the Stacy that you know. I'm the other Stacy.
Oh, well, there's two.
One of the two or three Stacys that there are on your channel. So you've had a crazy night. I've been listening, and
yeah, it's wild.
My God,
pretty crazy.
I've heard this night and the night that I can't think of the guy's name. His daughter had been murdered, and he called in, and he was just so upset that you were having a night where you were getting donations. I can't remember his name, but this kind of reminds me of that night. With this guy calling in.
Yeah.
But anyway, I haven't been able to listen to your shows lately because I've been ill. But
but first, let me, because you sort of brought up something without really explaining it. So now you've just invited a bunch of trolls. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gray.
But really, what it was we do donation night every single last day of every month, and we've always done it. And then I also sometimes I cover a story. So that night I was like, okay, we're going to do donation night. And then I said, we're also going to talk about this case. Okay, so we did the whole hour and a half, never mentioned the case, or the hour, never mentioned the case once. And we were doing our regular donation, our last push, and then I donated like $3,000 or so. Then all of a sudden, they call in, hey, you're raising money off of my kid. And it's like, no, that's not what we're doing. We've never done that. And I tried to explain it to him, but the dad wouldn't listen. The mom seemed to understand what was going on a little bit. He was just nuts. All right. So there you go. All right.
Sorry about that, Gray. I didn't want to put you in a bad.
Well, what it does is allows trolls to hear what you say and go, ooh, yeah, ooh. You know, I just explained it to. That's exactly how it went, and I felt bad, and those people were absolutely a nightmare at the press conferences as well. So it wasn't like it was just my channel.
Yeah, I watched some of those press conferences. It was pretty wild. It was like the Wild West at those press conferences. And even in court, it seemed like it was kind of wild. There were just they just were, I guess, grief-stricken, but you don't, I don't know. I think if you remain calm, it goes better than when you get all hyper and upset like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was listening to you, and I was listening to some of the people that called in about Delphi. And I live in Indiana, but I don't live in that part of Indiana. I live down by Louisville, Kentucky. And I have a friend that works as a social worker, and she works with sex traffickers. And I'm not saying the girls were going to be sex trafficked or anything like that. But through her, I've learned, I don't know how close I-64, Interstate 64, and Interstate 65 are to Delphi, but I do know that those two expressways are major sex trafficking. I mean, they just...
But sex trafficking would just be the standard, sex worker. That's also called sex trafficking.
Okay. Well, this girl, she works with people that are sex trafficked, and she said that those two interstates are they're just notorious for people being on there, that are looking for people that work in that industry. And so I just wondered if maybe this guy was just, not even from that town. Maybe he just was passing through, and, I mean, I guess there's weirdos that live every place, but when I was younger, I was in northern Indiana in that area, and there were some strange fellas up there then. But I guess it's always been like that, But I don't really have an answer to what happened to those girls. I mean, I think that it might have been really random, that the guy was just there.
I think it is.
And
the police believe
happened.
It's random. The police believe they believe the girls don't know the person.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of random too, and I think you're right. I think it is a serial killer,
or I call him a serial killer-like person, because there are people. Like a perfect example is I brought it up before, but John Miller from the April Tinsley, another Indiana case out of Fort Wayne. But he just killed one person, but he acted like one. He taunted the police for years and years over it.
I think I know that case. I think I'm...
Well, I covered it on my channel. Before the arrest was even made, I covered it, and then the arrest was made, and it was kind of neat. Another one of those cases that we covered, and then bam, it's solved. Not that we did it, but we just have such a high volume of cold cases that they get solved.
Yeah, and everybody really is. I mean, there's a lot of channels that are copying you. I mean, every once in a while I'll skip over and look at another channel, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, this is a channel that's a copycat channel, So it seems like, I don't know how long you've been on YouTube, but it seems like there's a lot of people that are trying to steal your thunder.
Well, I don't even really, I'm not even really like I don't even think like, oh, I've got thunder, My thing is I just do shows, and it's really disappointing when, for example, Identifinders just solved that case from 50 years ago. We covered it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm friends with Colleen. They're going to come on my show and talk about it. And they're also going to allow us to record genetic genealogy on the 1961 Bibb County John Doe hitchhiker that we, the Freak family, are funding for genetic genealogy. They're going to let us record it. And
wow.
I even said, hey, so it's on GEDmatch, and I'm probably have to blur some names out and all that stuff. The very next day, the grifter has the same case on his screen, and then talks about, hey, I'm gonna load my profile up to GEDmatch, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. But I might have to blur some things out, and It was like the exact same wording.
Oh my God!
It's like people go, "Oh, you're just delusional" when I see it, and I'm not. I'm really not. It's really strange. People actually message me randomly on the side and say, "Wow, have you seen this? Look at this. That's exactly the same thing you said." Anyways.
Yeah, I don't message too much, but yeah, I notice it though. I mean, because I'll skip around sometimes during the day and just look at channels if I have time, and it's amazing how many channels are just kind of like covering the same things you are, and they're saying something that you've already said, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, go get your own stuff, you know, be original.
Look something up and try to, you know, read about it and present it and theorize and come up with your own thoughts.
Yeah. So do you think that the cops are any closer to finding anything out about Abby? And I can never remember the other little girl's name. I always forget it, and
Libby?
It makes me feel horrible.
Libby?
Excuse me?
Libby?
Yeah.
Abby and Libby.
Yes, Libby. Yes. Do you think they have any more information on that, or do you think it's just at a standstill?
Well, I think they have more information. They're not going to release it yet.
Oh, okay. What do you think the reason is? I mean,
Well, because they only have a little left now. There's been so many people speculating and putting stuff out there that they're only left with a few things. But here's the thing, that they're in this weird conundrum where it could be that the thing that they're keeping that only the killer knows might be the one piece of evidence that somebody else out there might recognize and lead to the killer. So they're kind of in this.
I see.
Now, if they had a ton of stuff, I think they could release more of the video for sure. But if they had a ton of information, then they could pick and choose a little bit of pieces. But I think there's been so much put out there that now somebody could come forward and sort of say some things, and they'd be pretty close to what happened.
Right, and that's why I think that the person isn't from Delphi or the surrounding area, because I think by now somebody in that area would have maybe come forward and said something, unless they're just afraid to, you know. I don't know. You never know what kind of situation people are in when they live in households. I mean,
yeah. I don't think the person lives in Delphi. I think they might live within 30 miles or something.
Okay.
You know, and they kind of know the area because they've been there. Maybe they lived there once before. I just don't think it's going to be somebody that lives in anywhere within 3 miles of here, like Delphi.
Okay.
Doesn't make any sense.
So that guy, the guy with the tattoos that everybody's talking about, is supposed to have a I'm really bad with names sometimes, but the guy with the tattoos, is he still incarcerated? The one that had the tattoo that looked like Libby?
Well, it didn't look like Libby, but sure, because he was going to murder somebody, so of course he's going to be incarcerated. He had nothing to do with it though, because Becky came on at the beginning of the show. We've already said this. Yeah, the MO's not even close, and they're not really that excited, she said, about him.
Yeah, I saw him. I just thought, no, from the beginning, I didn't think that was the guy, you know, when they started talking about him and everything. I just didn't, his voice doesn't sound like that guy. I don't know how you feel about that guy's voice, the guy that says down the hill, but when I first heard his voice, I was like, man, that's a distinct voice. But now, as time has gone on, it doesn't sound as distinct anymore.
No.
but at first, I was like, wow.
He just kind of sounds like a lot of people. That if you're just kind of talking low, you go, guys, down the hill.
Yeah.
Hey, get down the hill. Like you're trying to be quiet, but you're not whispering, but you're talking quietly with your voice. It always sounds a lot deeper than like, hey, what's going on? That's a higher pitch. But if I went, hey, guys, down the hill. Right? Now it's deeper.
Yeah, I think you become, after you hear it so often, you become kind of desensitized to the voice too. It's like, no, that could be anybody really, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to call in to say hi, and I really enjoy your show, and I try to catch it every night, but here lately it hasn't been possible, so...
Yeah.
But I really enjoy it, and you have some crazy trolls on there tonight.
Yeah, every time you cover Delphi, the sick wackos come out, thinking that that's the case to be funny about. You know, it's really weird.
I wonder why. I mean, it's just, it's kind of, it's odd.
Well, they're just sick people,
but,
really.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess there are a lot of sick people in this world. But anyway,
Yeah.
I really enjoy your show, and, well, I hope everybody quits calling in that's crazy. But it probably is not. It's probably going to continue.
Yeah.
It seems like it always does. So.
Well, thank you for
Anyway.
calling in, Stacy.
Okay, thank you, Gray.
All right, have a good one.
Night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Night. All right. Got to eat my cookie. Well, the problem is people like the Grifter and others have sort of made it sort of a carnival atmosphere. So those people showed up. A lot of the cases we talk about are nobody's talking about, and the time when I joke around, it has nothing to do with the case, unless it's about the perpetrator on something stupid they did. All right. So the people that support people like the Grifter, they're part of the problem. All right. Now, there's no link to click on. This isn't StreamYards, okay? The number's at the top of the screen. Oh, the lines are open. But I've also been on here for 2 hours and 24 minutes. So, I might call it a night. We always have these huge lulls. We gotta... Oh yeah, I'm so rude. That's right. Hey, watch this, watch this. Oh yeah, that's good shit. That's yummy. Yeah, you typed it in before the real cornet. Hey, look at. I think the bridge guy is works at McDonald's. Oh wait, I think the bridge guy works at Burger King. Oh wait, I think he works at Safeway. Oh wait a minute, I think he works at Kentucky Fried Chicken. I think he works in a park. I think he works at a bakery. I think he works at a butcher office. I think he works at or delicatessen. I mean, let's just all list them all, everybody. And then when we get an answer, there'll be the right answer somewhere, and I can play that clip for the wackos out there. I don't have a... you want me to ask you why, right? The real cornet. Yes, everybody, my profile is that this guy's got an ingrown left toenail. He was in a lot of pain that day. That's why his leg kept going higher. He had just had palate surgery a week before. He apparently once owned an oxygen tank, but didn't have it with him that day. I'm being told this by the voices in the air there. Good for you, the real cornet. Hey, tell you what. Hey, real cornet, hang up the phone. Get out of here immediately and quickly call the police. Right now. You're being irresponsible. Yes, he's had toe fungus for years. He had to take medications to resolve that problem. One thing we know for sure is that he sits in his grandmother's basement and he drools often. Yeah, you never know, Dennis. You just never know. 774. Yeah, I can hear it. Yep.
Thought I had to unmute.
Yeah, what's going on?
I was the one that was asking in chat how to call in. I think you did it on StreamYards once.
I did.
Where,
yeah, I could also do
click the link, and I was like, oh, that was easy.
Yeah, and I could also do the link for just Zoom too, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I called in one of those nights too. I feel like every time I call in, I'm like sick or something. But I just got done watching like this 3-hour thing on another channel on Delphi, and it was like really packed with information. They were talking about, I don't know.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Probably know of the guy.
What are you talking about?
I just got done watching a video on YouTube about Delphi. I'm not going to name drop the channel or anything, but it was like 3 hours long, and it was a lot of information. So I got like a lot on my head, and it was basically they were talking about that Lindsay guy.
Ah, jeez.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
But why do you waste your time? Let me ask you something.
Crazy.
But why do you waste so much time with watching something that's just filled with packed full of bullshit information? Do you ever wonder about that? That's the part that's...
Well, I just need time to process the stuff to be able to discredit it. And
Right. Okay, so anyway, what did you get out of it?
No, I don't know. There was just some crazy theories about that Lindsay guy's like suspect, and it's pretty nuts the stuff that they were talking about.
Right, exactly.
I guess there's this. Well, he has this suspect, and the suspect lived in Delphi at the time of that crime, and also lived in Evansdale at the time of the Evansdale murders.
Right.
And I guess worked at the meatpacking plant in Delphi at a certain time, and also the reason why he was in Evansdale is because he there's like a meat plant out there too. I don't know if it's like Tyson or something, and they actually like sent some of the workers over from the meatpacking plant in Delphi over to Evansdale during those years or something to help out with processing. And so like that's why that guy, I don't know, it's just there's a lot of I figured you didn't really think much of that Lindsay guy, because he has some crazy speculation, and he just kind of throws it out there, and you can't really respect
he's got a whole
like that.
Well, he's got a whole blog, but it sucks though is that people like whatever you were just watching, they go, ooh, I got a gold rush moment. I'm going to cover the Delphi case. Watch how many people I can sucker in by coming up with the craziest stuff in the world. Is there proof of all that stuff on the screen? Like literally have yes, he did live here. Oh, yes, he did work here. He did all that stuff. It was all there.
Oh, no.
Or is this you listening?
Absolutely not.
Right, it's just you listening to somebody claiming all these things are true and putting these links together without any corroborating information at all.
Well, his thing, I guess that Lindsay guy's thing is like he's got like a disclaimer in the beginning where he says, I'm not claiming any of this is true. It's all secondhand information. That's all hearsay. He's saying that his source, it's actually secondhand information even through his sources or whatever.
But hold on.
So it's even not to be trusted.
Right, but hold on one second. Cindy, what you just wrote, though, is ludicrous. She said, hey, that guy admits up front that his channel's rumor and speculation theories, yet people take it as fact. Sad. No, what's sad is that you have a clown putting out rumor and speculation on serious true crime cases. That's the part that's sad. Okay? Not that that people took what he said as fact. It's sad that there's an idiot like that putting out bogus, just wild speculation, crazy crap to try to get views, and that's what it's all about. Okay. Anyways, go ahead.
That's the thing. It's more of like an entertainment type thing.
Yeah,
it's definitely about views. Because you watch a video like that and it's got like 30 advertisements laced into it, you know? And I'm not lying, like 30 advertisements. Like every 5 minutes there's an advertisement. It's about money.
Yeah.
That's just how some channels work.
No, it's sick.
But it definitely gets your mind working on some levels when, I mean, as crazy as some of the theories might be, it definitely gets you thinking. Like so I guess that guy, the Lindsay guy or whatever, he has like his little closed group, and they're just online sleuths, whatever, and they speculate, and they've come to their conclusions, and then they put it out there, and then they forward it to the police and whatever. But they have like, well, it's funny because I had like your voice ringing in my head when a lot of his theory, some of their speculation is based off of looking at the image from the video and saying like, well, this is what's in his pocket, this is what's in his pants.
Yeah, I had somebody
neck.
call in one time, and they said that they knew exactly what type of gun he had in his pocket. And I said, how do you know
one
that?
of the things
And they
that
go, look,
they
I can
said.
see it, I can see it, I can see it. What do you mean you can see it?
Yeah.
You can't see shit. You don't know what he's got in there. We don't even know 100% sure if that's what it is right there is where the gun is. Okay? I mean, I think it is, but, he told me it was like a specific model of a gun. And those people are crazy.
That's what was said by that Lindsay person claims that they think that they know the exact make and caliber of the gun, and not only that they think that it could have came from two places, and that one of the places that they believe it could have came from is that it was stolen from Ron Logan's house.
Yeah.
Apparently Ron Logan's guns were stolen sometime before the crimes happened, and he had that kind of gun.
Yeah.
But they actually named the person, and it's one of the people that was
I think you should be ashamed.
Involved in the search.
Yeah, well, people can watch whatever they want to watch, but those channels like that do no good for anybody at all. There's nothing valuable coming from it. I don't know. My thing is true crime is serious shit. I mean, it is real. To get into the realm of wild speculation and crazy theories is not what police do. See, there's people up here, people that watch The Grifter, that think, oh no, that's what police do. They wildly No, they don't wildly speculate on anything. They speculate on the facts given to them. Then they'll go, this could mean this. Let's look into that a little bit. They're in this. It's not wild speculation. That's what you get on YouTube, because the wilder you can get, the more entertaining it is. Okay, I think that's why the genre itself has pretty much been completely demonetized, and that's why I almost solely rely on the super chats, is because there's no. The ad revenue is horrendous because there's no credibility as a whole. You've got just.
That's part of the reason why I called in, was to run that guy's name by you.
Well, people were typing it in the chat.
What you had thought of him.
I've never even seen him.
What's that?
I've never even seen him, but people were typing the name in the chat. So I've already forgotten, thank God.
Lindsay or whatever.
Oh, that guy. No, I've heard of Lindsay.
Working through that stuff.
I've heard of Lindsay. What's
you talking about the channel?
Yeah, I don't want even the channel. The channel's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's just wild speculation. Coming up with theories that have zero evidence of being true.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I really had. I just didn't know what you thought about that Lindsay guy, but I think I got a good read on it now.
Well, I mean, that Lindsay guy, he's been putting out stuff for a long time. He's one of the people that made public the funeral photograph of Libby, and that's pretty disgusting.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah. He put it out there.
I didn't even
And-
know that was a thing. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that
it's a
was
real
out there.
thing, and it was also Julie Melvin's sister took somehow it got out. It's just really weird. I mean, who's taking pictures of people at funerals? You know, in the
That's
casket.
extremely disrespectful.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. So he's one of the ones that put that out there.
Yeah, I don't know. They just made a bunch of claims, like the types of shoes he was wearing, the car he was driving, all that. But like I said, it's all hearsay and secondhand information. And he says right off the bat, before they even mention any of it, that that's exactly what it is. It's hearsay. So it's like you can't take any of it. You have to take all of it with a pile of salt anyway. Before
I think it's so irresponsible
a word comes out
to
of a guy's mouth.
It's irresponsible to do true crime, and then you tell people, "Hey, nothing I'm saying here is fact at all. It's all just rumor mill and speculation." But here we go. What's the point
and
of
then
that?
they talk for 3 hours.
You can say whatever you want at that point too, because you don't have to prove it to anybody, right? Ah, God.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah,
Sickening. I don't care what message they gave you. Hey, everybody, this is all wild speculation. Don't worry about it, though. I'm going to say it anyways. You know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thanks for thanks for setting me straight. Like I said, I just wanted to run his name
Look
by
at-
you. I didn't know how everybody thought of that guy.
Yeah,
or
here's the thing,
whatever.
everybody.
And I
It-
think you have another caller.
Well, it's possible that something is true, becomes true, but it wasn't like that they got the answer. Like the working at the pig processing plant or whatever the hell it is. Well, that's about the biggest job there is in the area. So it's not really that far-fetched to think that maybe, of the hundreds of people that work there, that one of them might work in the area. I mean, so, live in the area, and maybe that's the killer. It's not that wild. So it's not like anybody sleuthed out something. It's just the biggest employer in the area. It's huge. It's right there.
But they were saying something about how the Delphi police did they basically raided the meatpacking plant sometime after that.
Yeah, they were looking for like a boot.
Murders took place.
Some kind of a boot, something like that.
Yes. Yeah, they came out with a boot and an evidence bag. So there was like a bomb threat. They said that there was a bomb threat at the meatpacking plant, and they came out and they released an image to the public of one of the meatpacking plant's boots in an evidence bag. And the claim that the Lindsay guy was making is that the bomb threat was bogus. The police went in because they needed one of the boots from the meatpacking plant because they were pretty sure that from the video footage that they could tell that the suspect was wearing those boots. Well, not the exact boot, but boots from the meatpacking plant, as in he had worked there sometime.
Yeah, I mean, but that's all
And I
stuff
guess-
that was out there 4 years ago. It was all out there. That was the original stuff that was out. Was that they went over there and they got some boots from the meatpacking plant. I don't care how, the ruse was, the bomb threat thing is meaningless. Really, it's really that they went in and apparently they got maybe some boots. We don't even know if that's 100% true, but it was something that definitely, there was a photograph and it seemed like it was out there at the time. I don't know.
Well, they're saying it's related to the murders. They're saying it's and not.
Well, they don't know if it is.
They're saying that.
Yeah.
No, there's
It
no way
panned
to
out.
know. I mean, they're just trying to make.
Yeah,
a
it didn't
connection.
pan out because
it's speculation.
Well, they went out there and they saw that. Hey, look. We think this might be the guy. Look at. This is a sex offender in the area, and they go get his boots and they go, oh shit, okay, well it wasn't him. It didn't lead to anything, obviously, right? We're 4 years later, and there was boots, and it didn't. But they think it's the same person. See, they don't even know whose boots they were, right? But they're saying that a guy working at this plant worked at the plant over in Evansville too. Evansdale, right? Yeah, Evansdale.
Yeah, would they have an exact person that is like their suspect, and like basically, I could give you a ballpark idea, and you would know exactly who I'm talking about. Like a previous mayor, someone who was involved in the search. You probably already know who I'm talking about. That's that Lindsay guy's suspect.
Oh, okay.
You know who I'm talking about? Without me naming him.
I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look at the names. I can't remember the names of.
He's one of the first few people, I think, to discover the actual girls.
Okay. Well,
the guy that lost his keys to his truck.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that.
Yeah.
But I don't. But all that was bogus too. You know, like all that stuff's bogus. I actually asked the family about that, and they go, "Oh yeah, no." So, all of that stuff is just. Everything's been figured out. Everybody knows who was where, what was going on, and so they don't have a killer. And I just think a lot of people are trying to sensationalize the case. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it caught me. It caught me.
All right. Well,
I was listening to it for the past 3 hours.
Oh wow, that's crazy. Anyways, I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna get this other call, but. Well, thanks for calling in, and
okay. Thanks for taking my call.
You got to stay away from that crap, man. You got to stay away from it. I know it's. I
know you got to set me straight.
I know it's entertaining. But all right, have a good one.
I mean, it's just I want the case to get solved, and it's anytime it's being talked about, my ears perk up. I need new details. I need some progress. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, you won't be getting any progress over there. And nowhere, because the only time we'll get progress is when law enforcement says, we've made an arrest. That's when progress will get made.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
All right, well, thanks for taking my call. Have a good one.
Thanks for calling in. Have a good one. See ya. Still eating my cookies. Thanks, Paul Hallett. Yeah, I need some more cocktails if you guys have them. Let's see. All right, 314. Yep. Hello.
Hi, Gray. How are you this evening?
Pretty good. Who's this?
Oh, my name is Holly.
Like Holly from the chat?
No, I haven't been on the chat.
Oh, okay.
No, I just decided to call. I do catch yours on YouTube a lot. I was just wondering, do you think that this was his first kill?
I don't know. I can't. I think he's a serial killer like person. I just
killed 2 people.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he might have attempted things before, kind of refined it. You know, we had the Schnee Oberholzer case that we talked about. That just got solved a few months back. That one, it seemed like I don't know how many people he killed prior to that, but it seemed like he may have evolved after that, because neither one of them went well. You know, both the women that he tried to abduct didn't seem to pan out for him, so he you know, maybe over the next few years when he killed other people, he may have changed it up a little bit. So,
yeah.
So it's hard to know.
Do you think he'll kill again?
Well, he may have already killed again. Maybe changed it because he knows that.
Yeah, that's possible.
You know, maybe. See, everyone thinks, oh, he's going to kill on a bridge again. Anytime there's a mention of a bridge, a lot of the Delphi wackos.
This case is so
publicized.
There's no way he would do that again. I mean, he's not that damn.
It might be like maybe a park or some sort of like you know, maybe a parking spot that's sort of isolated that he would wait for somebody to.
Right.
You know, the part that would seem to be similar was the part that he would do that would be similar would be that he would be sort of know the layout of an area and then wait for somebody to fall into that location and then pounce on them when he knows they're isolated. So that could be anywhere.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah. Oh, I feel the same way. Yeah, somewhere that's populated but not real populated. You know, a time of year where there's not going to be that many people coming around. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like parks could be pretty like a reasonable place. Hiking trails, but bridges is absolutely meaningless to it. You know, like people think that's why they were so into that other guy, because he had a couple pictures with bridges on him. You know?
Yeah, I never believed that guy did it. I never did. That guy was way too stupid. Way too stupid. And he caved right away when the police came there.
Yeah.
He let him search the house knowing that little girl was down there. What an idiot. You know, that guy was just an idiot. No, the bridge guy is smarter than some people give him credit for. I mean, hell, he's gotten away with it for 4 years, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he knew they were recording him? No. A lot of people say that, you know, that idiot that's on there a lot, Reno or whatever, he keeps saying, you know, possibly. Well, at first he said possibly the guy knew that he was being recorded. That's BS. I don't believe it.
Yeah, there's no way. I think he didn't see that. Libby intentionally held the phone down low to kind of hide it.
Right.
And he's not really focusing on that. He's kind of walking, trying to make sure he's not stepping into a hole, and he's walking kind of quick. And then she then kind of hides it even more when he gets closer. And
see, that's what makes me think he's older too, because, you know, older people never think about grabbing their cell phone and taking pictures. You know, I mean, hell, I never do. My granddaughter, she's never without her phone. But me, you know, I see odd things that happen or whatever, and I'm like, oh, you know, I should have gotten my phone, but I never have it on me. So, you know, because I'm old and I don't think about that shit. So, so no, I don't think he knew he was being recorded.
Yeah, I get it.
But you're right. I think he's going to change it up. I think he will kill again, or maybe he already has, but he will change it up.
Yeah, well, he's not going to do it on another bridge again. And somebody asked if they have ruled out Chadwell. They haven't ruled out anybody yet, but they're not interested in Chadwell. If you missed the beginning of the show,
I don't.
If you guys missed the beginning of the show, we had Becky on, and she said that police aren't really that interested in him, and they're really frustrated because so many people were so excited about Chadwell that they even got messages saying, "Congratulations! Congratulations! Oh my God! You know," and they're like, "What for? What? Chadwell! Yay!" As if he was the killer and arrested.
He didn't do that.
And police aren't even really interested in him, apparently. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, I'm not buying the Chadwell thing. I'm just not.
No,
I've followed this case from the beginning. I'm in Texas, but I followed it from the beginning, and it wasn't Chadwell. It's none of those people that they've mentioned. And Chadwell's an idiot. I don't see how anybody could think he did it.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have pulled that off and stayed hidden for 4 years. 4 years? No, No, I don't think so. He's on TikTok trying to entice little girls and all that. No, this guy's laying low. In fact, I don't think this guy knows much about technology at all. I mean, he might watch your show.
Well,
but no,
they do. They do watch shows. Some of these killers do watch shows. That's for sure. That's a guaranteed fact. I don't know if you. One of them watched my show, and actually wrote a killer watched my show, and then commented in the comments section way before he was arrested. We actually were talking about the cold case, and then he got arrested, and then he came back and. What was that name again? Zozo? You told me Panky. That's right. So now I remember. So I'll type it in. Hold on. It was here. I'll show you this on the screen. It's pretty wild. This second. Takes me a second to find it. Yes, the Janelle Matthews case. Here, watch this. This one's crazy times right here. I'll put it up on the screen in just a second. Alright, right here, and this is a video that I made on September 26, 2019 about they had other cases, but we talked about Janelle Matthews right there, and let's see, where is it? And if you scroll down, right there, this guy right here, Steve Pankey, he goes, Gray, because he was actually a suspect that people talked about in the article. So he wrote, Gray, I'm innocent. I live 2 miles away. Without considering police involvement, the case will never be solved. And then, months later, he was arrested for the murder. And then there's all these comments saying, you sicko. You know, it's pretty crazy.
Wow.
But he literally was watching my show, and he made a comment prior to his arrest. Yeah. So, it does happen.
Yeah. Well, my brother was murdered, and I guess that's when I really got into true crime a lot. I watch it quite often. I was going to ask you, have you ever considered doing a show about the Girl Scout murders that happened in Oklahoma?
Were you the one that emailed me? Or you messaged me? Or you put a comment in the comment?
No, wasn't me.
Well, because it's weird. Somebody commented on my video. They also put the same exact comment on the Grifters video. And I've already talked about that one. I've talked about that.
Have you?
Yeah, I couldn't find it, though. I saw the folder, but I do have the folder here, so I know I talked about it. I just can't. It might have been one of the shows that I had to remove or something.
Oh, well, the anniversary has been coming up. I live pretty close to there, and that's how I know about the case.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I just wondered, they still haven't. I mean, they kind of know who did it, but they don't know if he was alone. They think maybe he had help. Even the family thinks that.
All right.
Just a shame.
Yep.
Well, I know you're tired, and I'm going to let you go. I just wondered if maybe you thought it was his first kill, or if
I don't really have a way to judge that or not. I don't know.
Well, 2 people at once. I mean, I've never. Well, I've thought about killing people. Of course, I get angry.
I just thought they were kids.
But I mean, I would never just. I would never do it unless they, made me.
Right, but he probably just thought like a gun, easy to control 2 little kids. Yeah.
That's possible. I mean, but.
Yeah, he might have done something before, and he felt comfortable enough to do it again. Maybe completely different scenario the first time. I think the answer to the case will be that he's in the paper somewhere, either an unsolved case or an incident that occurred, but they couldn't find anybody or arrest anybody. So I bet there's something like that out there. Like he's probably tried it before and wasn't successful, but he got away. And then he learned from that, and then he did the Delphi case, something like that. There might be a few of those incidents, but they don't report a lot of times on failed attempts.
Right. Yeah. Well, I didn't think about that, but yeah, you're probably right.
Yep.
It's a shame. I hope they catch him quick.
All right.
I don't like the idea of somebody like that running around.
Yeah, I hope so.
Preying on children. What a coward. I mean, who does that?
Wackos.
Yeah, too bad those little girls didn't live in Texas. They would have been carrying guns.
Yeah.
My granddaughter carries one everywhere.
Nice.
Well, she's 16, so,
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for having me, Gray. I really appreciate it, and good night.
All right, well, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's see up above. It says, did Gray say there was a video? No, I didn't say there was a video. I said there might be a video. Maybe that's why they think the car was parked at a certain spot. Maybe that's how they know that he was walking around. It was a maybe. Because we gotta ask ourselves, how do they know? Was it just by a witness that he was still in the area 30 minutes after Derrick got there? Why did they think that that's his vehicle that was parked at the abandoned CPS building? Things like that. Anyways, I'm gonna end the show. Man, these nights are getting really brutal. It's crazy. Wild. Yep, thanks for calling in, everybody. Yeah, I don't know. Might be a scarf, rope, could be anything. We have such these long, like, I don't know. One of the things I'm, screw it, I don't even want to say it. I'm going to get out of here. It's brutal. All right, thanks, Diane Beck, Sarah Beth Colagraph, Grass, Graph, Jesus, my mouth couldn't say it. Sarah Beth Colagrass, Rita Schaefer, Michelle Nicholas, Alicia Powers, Susie Heath, Holly, Miss Marple, Lee D, Rita Schaefer, Jessica Schubach, Georgina Stoliker, Susie Heath, Laura Nelson, Kim F. Sharp Harp, Layla My Layla, Cairo, Christine Falk, Muse, Leah Marie, Susie Heath, Jen H, One Sly Angel, Allie Cake, Lane S, Linda Howell, Maureen Coe, Kathy Friedenmaker, Quietly Frozen, Scott Holland, Christy B, my Kentucky Chirk Guy, twice, thank you, Nathan David, and Paul Hallett. But yeah, we're quite a bit behind last month at this point, unfortunately. You'd think with a night with 400 or 500 people watching, it would have been a little bit better, because those are the nights that have to make up for the crappy ones. But thank you guys very much, and make sure you're washing your hands, maintaining your social distancing, wearing a mask, and if you haven't been vaccinated, if you have been vaccinated, just do whatever the hell you used to do before. All right? Thank you. Until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grego's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking checked ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you later. safe out there.